Good morning everyone, it's Josiah from Journeying with Josiah. Today I'm at Kyiv Boryspil Airport here in Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm going to be flying on board Lufthansa out to Frankfurt in Germany with their Airbus A320neo in economy class. Lufthansa has their check-in at Boryspil with fellow Lufthansa group carriers, Austrian and Swiss. Lufthansa serves Kyiv to Frankfurt twice daily. Today I'm taking LH1493, which is the morning flight, and while you do have to wake up at a painful time, you'll have the blessing of an empty airport with easy check-in and security. This flight is exciting for me as it is my first time on the Neo. The one taking me to Germany today is still in Lufthansa's old livery. It's 4 years old and was originally delivered new to Lufthansa in 2017. On this flight, there are 7 rows of business class in the front that seat 2 people on each side. Like most European airlines, Lufthansa only blots the middle seat for these passengers. And behind the curtain you'll find economy class, seating 3 on each side. The Neo has overhead bins capable of fitting everyone's luggage, but I could see it getting a little bit tight on a past flight. The Boeing 737 is better in this aspect. And here is my seat, 19A. While boarding continues, here's a look at the standard economy class seat. You'll find a literature pocket, a standard tray table, a seat back pocket which I really appreciate, and very good legroom, much better than LOT 737 mats. The seats also recline, but it's not really that much. The seat itself is thin and does not have a headrest. This makes it not the most comfortable, but it's definitely survivable. You probably saw already, but the crew gave me a disinfection wipe during boarding. In the overhead panel you will find air vents and reading lights. I'd say overall the cabin gives off a modern, but definitely a little bit of a bland vibe. So here's what you'll find in that literature pocket that I showed earlier. There's a safety card. And here's the buy on board menu. For many years Lufthansa was always known to be reliable in the fact that they would always give you a nice snack. Unfortunately those days are gone and everything is for purchase now. I found the food to be too upscale. It'd be much better if they did stuff that was more basic and filling. The prices also were really expensive. To be honest, this is one of the poorer in-flight menus that I've seen. Last but not least, there's an air sickness bag. My flight takes me 1,590 kilometers west to Germany over a 2-hour and 50-minute flight duration. Soon the in-flight service started and the 2 flight attendants serving economy class came around. They gave each passenger a free bottle of water. Other than that, there was no free service except for a small piece of chocolate that was given while we were deboarding in Frankfurt. Next came the buy on board service. So I wanted this apple cake, but when I asked, the flight attendant looked at her colleague, chatted in German with her for a few moments, and then told me that they didn't have it. I really do miss the times when I could at least get a drink of my choice on Lufthansa. Here's one very important thing that you need to know. Lufthansa requires you to wear specific types of masks, either an FFP2 or an N95 mask like the one I'm wearing, or a blue surgical mask. I made a mistake when reading the rules and thought that it was FFP2 only, so I was stuck with that very uncomfortable mask. So make sure that you always do your research before you travel. One of the things I found surprising is that this aircraft and Lufthansa's other A320neos were never equipped with Wi-Fi. This is completely different to their older A320 models, which mostly do have Wi-Fi. It's really disappointing because one of the big positives with Lufthansa is their Flynet service on their older aircraft. I found the lavatory to be very, very small, but at least it was clean. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful morning here over Germany. Let me go over my thoughts on Lufthansa's A320neo economy class from Kyiv to Frankfurt. I hate to say it, but I can hardly find Lufthansa a cost-valuable airline anymore. Generally speaking, they charge full-service prices on these inter-Europe flights, yet you're not going to get a full-service experience. With a basic economy fare, you do not get a checked bag anymore. The seats themselves are fine, nothing special though. They're no longer giving you a free beverage or snack service, and mind you, Air France and KLM are still doing this. The food for sale is much more expensive and limited than what you would find on a low-cost carrier, but I do have to cut them some slack here because this flight was during the summer of 2021 when they had just started this service. Hopefully they are improving it now. I was also disappointed with the lack of Wi-Fi on the A320neos, which you would get on most normal A320s in Lufthansa's fleet. The crew on this flight were okay. One thing I do have to say, I was not impressed with how they acted really impatient with some non-English or German-speaking passengers. Lufthansa still has its positives. You can choose your seat for free during check-in, which is really nice if you're traveling with a family. I've also found their planes to be consistently clean and their flights to be consistently on time. From their hubs in Frankfurt and Munich, you can pretty much travel anywhere in the world. So overall, my advice to you is this. If you are flying from point A to point B in Europe, there is really no reason to take Lufthansa over a low-cost airline. If you want a more premium feeling experience inter-Europe, take Air France, KLM, or LAKEY Polish, as they are offering free snacks. I would personally still choose Lufthansa if they had the cheapest price for an inter-Europe flight that connects onto a long-haul flight, like to the United States or Asia. This is why I was on this flight. Still, I wouldn't avoid Lufthansa as they are reliable, consistent, and generally comfortable. And welcome to Frankfurt. Thank you very much for checking out this review. I hope it helped you and gave you some insight into flying with Lufthansa. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help and give suggestions. Sorry about having this month's video out so late. I recently moved and it continues to keep me extraordinarily busy. I'll see you all next month. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome to Frankfurt, local time 8:30 a.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we have reached our final parking position and the seatbelt signs above you have been switched off. The whole crew would like to say goodbye and thank you for choosing Lufthansa as our last for this flight. We wish you a nice day here in Frankfurt or